Welcome back to the best vodcast on YouTube. The Gurus of the Gridiron are here to tell you our power rankings for Week 11. You might hear it in our voice. We're a little sick this afternoon. Yeah. Stick with us because we had to come spit you some knowledge either way.
Alright, let's just get it started. I mean, I don't have time to waste. Let's get this top 10. You know, number 10 is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs for me. Like I said, they've been like the past Chiefs. They started off really hot, really hot almost, and then just kind of falling off, cooling down as they always do. I see them winning the division, maybe, but I don't see them making the Super Bowl. You know, it's just these Chiefs we all know from the previous year. So Chiefs, you're at number 10 for me.
All right, my 10 this week is going to be the Seattle Seahawks. Don't jump on me right here, but they didn't look confident in any of these games that they've been playing, and the running game with the left tackle Dwayne Brown coming over from the Texans, it looked like they might have a running game coming along, but it's just like the defense without Richard Sherman, that's like your vocal leader, and that's going to be hurtful, and the defense just hasn't looked great at all, and you can't expect Russell Wilson to do everything. Their offense isn't good enough to win them games, and their defense is going to start losing them games. It's the Seahawks are definitely slipping, even though they won against the Cardinals. It's not looking too hot, especially without Richard Sherman.
All right, on to number 9. And number 9 for me is a new team. And it's the Carolina Panthers slipping in there. It's finally their first appearance in the top 10 for me. I've always liked the Panthers, but you know, they've been slipping and falling. Ever since they've been Super Bowl, they've been all over the place, wrong directions here and there. But now they're showing some signs of life after beating a very good team last week. Just make sure that you watch the Panthers because they're making a run for it in the NFC South. They're not going to outdo the Saints by any means. The Saints are playing God knows what football, but the Panthers could slip into a wild card spot. So watch out for that. The Panthers coming in at number 9 this week.
Number 9, I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm waiting for them to take this division. I want to circle that matchup with the Titans because right now they're not winning their division, but the Titans just look so up and down to me, and the Jaguars got a good defense and a good running game, and that's what you take in cold weather. I don't know how many times I got to say this, but you got that hard-nosed running game and you got a hard-nosed defense, and with anything like that, you're on a good track, and I think they'll win this division. If not, get a wild card berth.
All right, number 8 is the Jacksonville Jaguars for me. You know, you got that defense, that stout defense. They are winning games. They're holding their opponents to minimum yards, minimum points scored. And that, like you said, that running game is just out of nowhere because Blake Bortles isn't doing it. I mean, watch for them to try to look at the free agency market or maybe drafting a quarterback this year because Blake Bortles is not the franchise quarterback you want. Let's just be honest there. But like you said, circle that matchup with the Titans because the Titans and Jags, that could be a good divisional rivalry right there and a good divisional matchup because that's going to determine a lot to me. If the Jags come out and win this game, I see them easily beating out the Titans for the AFC South title. But if not, they will definitely get the wild card spot in this AFC. I don't see the AFC being very tough. Jaguars can easily do this number 8 this week in the power rankings.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Carolina Panthers have definitely came along with it. Christian McCaffrey looks like he's found a nice little niche in there. He wasn't in the spotlight like most of the rookie running backs, and I really like how he's come along with it. Trading Kelvin Benjamin, you could tell really put a rift in there because Cam's mentioned it quite a bit, so that's kind of intriguing. But I think they're going to get Greg Olsen back really soon, so these guys got a chance to shoot up. But when you rush for almost 300 yards in a single game, that's just a complete dominance of will, and 45-17, especially for this week, that's just ridiculous. They just completely dominated the Dolphins. So either which way they could. I mean, they rushed whenever they wanted to, and the defense just looked tremendous. So that they're definitely on the up. If not, wild card definitely. Well, I see them definitely in the wild card, but they'll definitely make it interesting with the Saints for the division.
All right, coming in at number 7 is the Seattle Seahawks for me. They are the Seahawks. They won games, but like you said, they lost their defensive leader in Richard Sherman, rupturing his Achilles, definitely out for the season, which is a big loss to the Seattle Seahawks. So look for that to play them in the long run. I mean, they will finish second in their division. The Rams are just playing really good football right now. I mean, they can win games still, and I feel like they're going to get the wild card like they always do, and they might win a playoff game here and there. Who knows? We know how the Seahawks are. We know how they play. They always make the playoffs somehow, win a playoff game, and shock everyone out of nowhere. So the Seahawks, I want to see how they do without Richard Sherman first now. This defense has got to show something. So Seahawks are at number 7. You could slip, you could go up. Let's just see how you play without your vocal leader on the defense.
The Kansas City Chiefs just keep falling. Right now they're at 7, and I need to see something coming off this bye. Andy Reid, you're one of the best coaches in the league. You are just fantastic off of a bye. I need to see some sort of the Chiefs earlier in the season. I haven't been liking what y'all been doing. You got to fix something. Get Alex Smith back going. Kareem Hunt looked like he hit the rookie wall. Do not continue slipping down this list. The Raiders will try to catch you. The Chargers are not playing bad football. You got to just pick it up. If you want to win this division, which is still a very competitive division, you got to show some sorts of what we saw earlier in the season. Right now, you're definitely slipping, and you got to fix something coming off this bye.
All right, coming in at number 6, I've got the Minnesota Vikings. My dark horse for the Super Bowl, personally. Teddy Bridgewater active. We all saw how emotional he got. You see everything. But let's focus on the football. That defense is playing amazing football. I mean, I know they had a close one against the Redskins, 38-30, but they played good football still. The Redskins are not a bad team if you look at them either. I mean, just all around, I like how the Vikings are playing. I like how everything's setting up for them. I know Dalvin Cook got hurt, but I like how everything's setting up for them. And watch out for the Vikings in the future weeks. Vikings at number 6 right now.
It's crazy to me how good they've been with a backup quarterback. I mean, like you said, the Vikings are definitely there, one of the better teams in the league. They have this dominant defense, and they have a rushing game to support that backup quarterback. But I'm telling you, from Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, oh God, what are we going to do? We got Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford played good. Then, boom, Sam Bradford got hurt. Now, Case Keenum has been playing arguably the best football of his career. Okay. And you just got to look real close at the Packers, how they've been playing with a backup quarterback, how the Texans been playing with a backup quarterback, and the Vikings are still winning the ball game with their third-string quarterback. I know Teddy's back, but let's not rush him in just yet. Let's just kind of ease him in. And Case Keenum is Case Keenum, but let's not go crazy. They're still winning ball games. Let's wait. Let's wait to get Teddy in there, and maybe when there's a blowout, either way is happening. But we're going to get Teddy in there, and this Vikings team is very much on the up now that their emotional leader's back. Keep an eye on that.
All right. The top 5 for Week 11. Starting off with number 5, I've got the New Orleans Saints. And, I've slept on the Saints for a long time. I haven't been giving them credit they deserve, but, man, after you watch them, you get a new life for them because they are playing outstanding. Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara are both having outstanding seasons. That's 2 running backs on the same team having outstanding seasons. When have you ever heard of that? Almost never. I would almost say never. Drew Brees, Hall of Fame quarterback, like he says week in and week out. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. That defense is playing better than anyone would have ever expected them to play. So the Saints, man, they are a real legit shot in the NFC. Watch out for the Saints, number 5 this week.
Number 5, and the only reason they're here is I think they need a little more experience. I want to see something from the Los Angeles Rams, and this is just from what I've been looking at, and they've been putting a blowout after blowout after blowout after blowout. But then they had a big game against the Seahawks and didn't come through at all. They had a chance to win that game even after all those turnovers. And now I know I just said Richard Sherman was hurt, but I want you to circle that matchup because you can't lose twice to a division rival and expect to win your division. So I want to see how they play against the Seahawks. They got a matchup against the Eagles coming soon. That's going to be a darn good game. And I think the Rams are just a year off from being a true Super Bowl contender. But this is a darn good team, and this will be the Coach of the Year. Sean McVay's been doing great. Expect them to be a great team for the rest of the year.
All right, number 4 is the Rams for me, and just to add on to what he said, they've got the young quarterback, the young running back, they've got the young coach even. I mean, all around they've got young pieces that they can build around to get better and better. This is the perfect prime example for a team that has a future plan, but they're being successful right now. I mean, they're playing just amazing football to say the least, and I mean, I want to see how they do, like you mentioned, against teams like Seattle, against Philadelphia, against obvious playoff teams. Let's see how they do there, and then you'll see where they can truly be in the coming weeks and in the future. Right now, Rams are number 4 because of the football playing right now.
All right, number 4, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this team just, they're so up and down for me. This team is arguably the most talented team in football. I could see them making the Super Bowl so well, but it seems like from week to week, when they play a good opponent, they bring it on and they come in and actually play good. But they played the Colts and almost got beat. Good God, it was 20-17. You need to go in there and put your throat. You just need to put your boot on the throat and just be done with the game. But they were able to turn it on when they needed to turn it on. But you can't keep playing like that. You need to go in there and beat the sucky teams. Like earlier in the season when they lost to the Bears, you should smoke the Bears. But then you go in and you smoke the Chiefs. This is what I'm talking about. You beat the good teams, but you barely lose to or barely beat the bad teams. I need to see more consistency out of them. I want to say they're the best team in football right now, but they're just so up and down. I need to see more talent. I need to see Le'Veon Bell keep on what he's doing. Their wide receivers are tremendous. I want to see this defense keep going. Watch out for the Joe Hayden injury, though. That really hurt their secondary.
All right, guys. The top 3 teams in the NFL. You're going to see some similarities and some differences here, so just watch out and see what we have to say. But in at number 3 for me is the Patriots. And the Patriots are number 3 because they're just the Patriots. I mean, there's not many ways to explain it. I mean, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback in the NFL. He might not win MVP, but he's still the greatest, you know. I mean, he makes his receivers good, even if they're not. I mean, prime example, who remembers Chris Hogan 2 years ago? Exactly, nobody. He was just a white guy. Now he's a white receiver. Anyways, but that defense is playing a little bit better. You know, they still got to improve week in and week out. I mean, they've got a tough AFC matchup with the Steelers in the playoffs that, hey, watch out for that AFC Championship match. I mean, that's where I would feel if I was predicting it, but watch out for that. The Patriots don't look like a Super Bowl team to me. That's why I've got them at number 3. They're second in the AFC for me. Patriots at number 3.
Number 3, I got the New Orleans Saints. I'm very high on this team. These guys have been looking freaking tremendous. I mean, earlier in the season, you were like, oh, it's going to be the same old Saints defense that's going to give up yards and points, and it's going to be on Drew Brees' back for a shootout week in and week out. And week 1, they lost, and you were like, oh, same old Saints. Week 2, they lost, and oh, same old Saints. And it was like they traded Adrian Peterson, and now Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara have just been freaking monsters. Two 100-yard rushers, you can't go wrong with that. Like I said about the Panthers, they rushed for over 300 yards and 6 rushing touchdowns? Wow, that's ridiculous. And when you have a Hall of Fame quarterback, who even if your rushing attack is not doing tremendous, you have a Hall of Fame quarterback to go win you games, and then you got a tremendous defense who has just been playing out of their freaking mind. These guys need to be more talked about. These guys are for real, and they have a fantastic running game, a Hall of Fame quarterback, all the weapons you need on offense, and elite defense. These guys are one of the best teams in football.
All right, number 2 for me is the Steelers. I like the way they're playing. Like he said, they're kind of inconsistent to me. It's hard to put a team at number 1, number 2, or number 3 after a team throws 5 interceptions against a team. I mean, I remember when Tony Romo did it against the Bears, and I was like, oh my goodness, we need to get rid of this guy. But the Steelers are still playing good football, okay? You look at them, and like you said, they're blowing out teams that they should really have close games with, and then the teams they should blow out, they have close games with. So I want to watch how they do in the playoffs, because those are teams they should have close games with. Who knows? Maybe they'll blow out every team in the playoffs because that's the teams they're supposed to play close against. I mean, maybe that's when they play their best football, but that could come back to bite you if you just take every team too softly. One example I'm going to use is, and I don't know, we cover college football, but hey, I think Georgia came into playing Auburn, and they were the number 1 team. We're not going to lose to number 15, but they did. So Steelers, if you just take a team lightly, you'll start losing games that you don't need to lose. So watch out for that. Steelers at number 2 this week.
Alright, top 2, I'm going to go with the Patriots, and you can't go wrong with the Patriots in any situation. I'm telling you, the thing about the Patriots is, like, they look bad in the regular season, and I just said it, the regular season. There's not much on this. You still got the 40-year-old, a lot of people say the greatest of all time quarterback, Tom Brady. You can't ever go wrong with that. And then them coming off a bye and looking that dominant against what should be a great defense,
they were ranked 4th.
More on that later. Just the Broncos look horrendous recently. It hasn't been going well. More on that later. Keep in tune for that. But the Patriots just completely wiped the floor with them. It looked competitive. It looked competitive at first. I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a good game. And then it was like, bang. Just exactly what I said about the Steelers. The Patriots went ahead and did it. They put their boot on their neck and just wiped it out of the way. And then coming off of a bye, Bill Belichick is arguably the greatest coach of all time. Just the way you coach off of a bye. You having that extra week to prepare, you should come in and dominate your competition, and that's exactly what they did. It was tremendous from the Patriots, and if this is how they're going to keep playing, I could see them in the Super Bowl again, but watch out for the Steelers in the playoffs. That's something to keep you out on. Patriots did too for Week 11, though.
All right, Week 11, they've been doing it week in and week out. The number one team, we're going to agree on this again because they keep doing it again. The Eagles are still the number one team for each of us. I'm just going to go ahead and sorry if I'm taking it from you, but hey, the Eagles are the number one team. We explain it to you every week. They're just playing the best football. They've got Carson Wentz as the MVP front runner. The addition of Jay Ajayi was a great move for them. Trading basically nothing almost for a great talented running back. Their offensive line's playing great. Their receivers are playing great. The defense is playing great. Their special teams is even playing great, for Christ's sakes. I mean, the Eagles are not going bad in anything, almost. I mean, injuries, Jason Peters, yeah, like he said, that could hurt, but they didn't let it stop them from winning a football game, so until then, they're the number one football team.
I'm just going to piggyback off that. I mean, last time we saw them, they put 50 points up on arguably a great defense, and that's when I was talking about the loss of Jason Peters. They got to be number one because they've been playing the best football. Carson Wentz will win the MVP. It's just how it is. It's not even close anymore. There's no one else that could even argue for it anymore. These Eagles. Now here's something to keep you on. They still got 2 matchups against the Cowboys. They got a matchup against the Seahawks. They got a matchup against the Ravens. I mean, not the Ravens. The Rams. They got a matchup against the Rams. That's 4 really tough games to keep your eye on. These guys do have a tough schedule to keep coming. But what I've been seeing so far, the Eagles are running away with it. So there's nothing about it that looks like they're slowing down. I want to see them coming off this bye against a big matchup against the Cowboys. This will be very interesting.
Alright guys, that was our power rankings for Week 11 of the NFL season. Make sure that you check back every week for Week 12, 13, 14, 15, until the end. And then when the playoffs start, get ready for playoff predictions. I mean, I'm getting hyped for that. We each have our own predictions, things like that. Many videos to come in the future. We have ideas running through our brains all the time. But that this is our opinion. You can disagree. You can let us know. Do what you got to do. But until we see something otherwise, we're going to keep doing what we do best, and that's talking about the gridiron. So we'll see you in the next video. That's the Gridiron Guru signing off.